Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, so glad you are here today. This is the extravagantly reoccurring power half hour. Smells like Thursday. That's
Thursday.
right. It's Thursday. Not going to lie, these podcasts help me keep what day it is together because we do live in a wild world right now. We're all stuck inside and not real sure. Every day kind of feels like the last one and the next one, but that's okay because we're here for some fun. We're here for some hope and for some conversation and to laugh. And we're going to have a great Devo by Tyler at the end. So keep that comment section going strong. A lot of people are talking about anime right there. Maybe we just need a whole show eventually based on anime. But today's competition, so get this going in the chat already, is going to be who would win in a fight between your favorite cartoon characters. So you pick two cartoon characters, put them in chat, and where they would fight, and that's going to be a whole segment of our show today. We're also going to have a segment, Day in the Life with Lane. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have a segment with Tyler of a devotion, and we've got all sorts of really fun stuff planned. So welcome again. Glad you're here. Hopefully everybody's doing great. I know it's crazy out there. Is there breaking news? Is there breaking news, Tyler? What is it?
No, I was playing the air horn because we're excited.
Oh. Well, I was excited. Well, I was outside today because my children, actually Desley's teachers, Desley is 6, and they went on a parade throughout the neighborhoods. So we sat outside and teachers just went and I'm like, what kind of a world do I live in where teachers are going on parades for the kids? They're awesome teachers. I'm so glad they're doing that because Desley loved it. But it's like, this is surreal. This is crazy. But also, here we are on YouTube. So it's a brand new world we're living in, right? But Jesus is still the king. So don't forget that. We are also going to have top 5 Marvel movies. This will get controversial. This will be something that we do not all agree on, and it is going to be something that my opinion matters. So it's going to be great. Get excited about that. Let's go ahead and go to Tyler Twombly to go over the weekly schedule and talk about our YouTube channel.
Yeah, here we go. So it's Thursday. Tomorrow, nothing. The next day, sorry, nothing. So don't forget, Sunday, first live stream. Join us. Monday, we have Guy High School Bible Study at 3 o'clock via Zoom. If you're interested in that, please send me or Tyler a text message, and we will send you a link to getting in the group. And then the girls' Bible Study is at 6:30 at night, I think. That's right. And then Taste Like Tuesday, Sense of Tuesday. It's a power half hour on a Tuesday.
You're a co-host. You have to know the name.
It's hard to remember because it doesn't alliterate so easily with scent. Whatever. We have Taste Like Tuesday on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Another fun session. We're gonna have so much good stuff. We might debate the best Skittle flavors.
Oh yes.
If they were vegetables.
Veggie Skittles.
And then next Wednesday is Bible Talk with Tyler and Tyler. Get hype.
So here's the deal. There's one rule on this. Really two. Make sure the comments stay classy, and everybody's done great at that so far. Also, make sure if you are 13 and up, you're allowed to comment. But if you are below 13 years old, make sure your parents are commenting for you. That's just the YouTube rules. That's not the Tyler's and Lane's rules. But yeah. So, have you watched Into the Spider-Verse? Absolutely, because that is one of the best movies.
Oh, does that count?
No,
of course it
counts. That's what
that
it
is
is.
Absolutely a cartoon. That does count.
Oh no! I thought
No.
the Marvel top
Does it
5.
count
It's
as a
not
Marvel
MCU.
movie?
Oh, we need when we get to that segment, we'll talk about it.
We'll get there.
Oh God!
So
that changes everything.
Changes everything. So, like I said, we have a special producer today that's really helping us out with the stream, and we're going to give him a shout out at the end as well. But yeah, let's move on to a day in the life with Lane Daltrey.
That's right. So, a day in the life with me looks like this. So, I've been walking a lot. My friends and I, we live next to UAH. It's been a beautiful day today. We walked about 3 miles this morning. It was great. Been cooking a lot of stuff from home, not going out to eat a lot. That's different. Usually I go out to eat about 2 or 3 times a week, and now I'm not going out to eat at all. So my sister's back in town from Birmingham, so I've been back and forth to my parents' house visiting family and coming back here for stuff like that. just still stocking up on stuff, trying to. We went to Walmart today and got some like dishwasher.
Now, when you went to Walmart, did you go in a mask and gloves, or what precautions are you taking as you go out?
No, we went just 3 people. No mask, no glove, but with lots of hand sanitizer, lots of Clorox wipes, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But got some dish detergent, stuff like that, the usual.
Well, Tyler, can you hear Lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, thanks for bringing up that Muddy Puddles song. Stuck in my head now, jerk.
It's my job.
You want me to tell you more stuff about my life, or is that enough?
Yeah, go ahead. You said you found a Mountain Dew?
Yeah. Okay, so new Mountain Dew flavor. I'm not sponsored by them, so no shout out. But it's Mountain Dew Frostbite. It's blue. I did not buy it, but I probably will soon. And it has a shark. Much Twombly and I love sharks because the Meg. So I'm gonna get some, and we're gonna have Meg edition Mountain Dew. It's gonna be fantastic. Looking forward to that.
Oh, we should totally do that next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, the Meg.
We should crack it open and rate it, compare it to other mountains. We're coming up with good stuff on the spot.
Yeah. So my roommate is mowing the grass today. It's a nice day for that, so that's gonna happen. So yard work is happening.
Solid. All right. Well, so I'm not trying to cut you off, Lane. I don't hear anything that you're saying. I'm just reading your lips. So I don't know when you're talking or not. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section. So thank you so much, Lane. Please tell us in the comments what your days have been like. What's one weird thing that didn't used to happen that now happens because we live in the world of quarantine land? Let us know in the comments, and anything that's super entertaining we'll talk about, because that's what we're doing here. It's gonna be fun.
Man, I totally embarrassed Brittany the other day. One of our neighbors said hi to us. We have a very distant relationship with this neighbor. They seem totally fine. We just haven't really talked to them. I saw him. His name's Clifford. He's super cool. I shouldn't name him. And then, so I saw him. We were walking. We've been doing that a lot more. That's pretty weird. We were walking. I saw him. He was like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he said, "How's it going?" And I said, "Just trying to stay alive."
Just trying to stay alive, huh?
And that was it. That was all I said, and it was over. And it was weird because that was it. That was the whole thing. Like, the joke is that was a horribly awkward thing to say in public. Look, guys, I know that maybe my social skills are not great. I don't blame it 100% on my upbringing. Maybe a little. It's a little bit to do with homeschooling. There, I said it.
I think the weirdest thing for us has been, I mean, I don't know about the weirdest, but one funny thing is, like, we were sitting out there for the parade, just chilling. There's like, we have neighbors that one neighbor lives beside us that has babysat and stuff before, and there's a neighbor across the street we've talked to before. And then even shout out to Zach Waller and Jan Waller came biking by, but people come up, and instead of like going up and high-fiving or like getting face-to-face and talking like normal, everybody stops like there's a force field like 10 feet away from each other. It's like, "Hey, you're awesome. I love you, but don't know if you're diseased. So we're going to stay this far away from each other." It's just really weird. Like, everybody will get like, oh, it's like the opposite ends of a magnet or something. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah. David Lloyd out here keeping it classy in the chats.
The big red neighbor.
Ooh, Legos. Fredrickson's doing the Legos.
You'll see
I respect that.
Larry, who invited Mason's dad, David Lloyd.
Oh, that's funny.
You one of the real ones.
So now what I want to do is move into our next segment. Before we move into our next segment, the big segment is going to be the top 5 Marvel movies, and it's going to get heated. I'm not going to lie. You know that I'm a superhero, super nerd, and I'm all about it. But don't forget that right after that is going to be our battle of cartoon characters. It does not have to be superhero cartoon characters. It can be any cartoon characters. Obviously, I'm going to lean towards the 90s because that's when I was a kid. So it's going to be battle of cartoon characters. It's going to be fun. Make sure you put some things for us to choose from in the comment section. But besides that, we are about to talk about the top 5 Marvel movies ever. So now, it's your favorite segment of mine. It's movies with Lane. Top 5 Marvel movies.
All right, here we go. We got some comments from my roommate. He's about to mow the grass. He loves Guardians too, but unfortunately, I do not. So here we go. So number 5 is Avengers: Infinity War. Love it. It's so good.
Oh,
Number 4 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy, the original. Number 2 is Captain America: Civil War. I know that is a very controversial film, and that's why I like it. And then number 1 is the original Iron Man. It's fantastic. Jon Favreau does a great job, and he's doing a great job doing The Mandalorian right now.
No way, the original Iron Man is number 1.
I love it.
So let me ask you this. Are you going based on how good you think the movies are personally, how well made you think they are, what you think the actual best movies are?
It's not by Rotten Tomatoes rating, that's for sure.
No, I'm just saying, like, when you do this, are you saying favorites? Is that what your ranking was?
Yeah, these are favorites in order, not necessarily that I think they're the best or well made, even though if they're my favorites, I probably think they are at least decently well made.
Okay. Tyler, what about you?
I gotta reorder myself rating, but just coming off the spot, I would go. So here's my 5 best. This is 5 best, not favorite. 5 best.
Okay.
5 best is Civil War, Thor Ragnarok, Marvel's Avengers, the original, Endgame, and then Infinity War. But if I were to do my personal favorite, I would do Ragnarok, Endgame, Infinity War, and then I would do Marvel's The Avengers at number 2, and then Captain America, the First Avenger, as number 1, because that's by far my favorite.
Okay. I see that. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm the one that created this segment today that said I want to do top 5 Marvel movies. And I purposefully didn't rank them in my head before this because I want you to see it in my eyes and my heart when I decide which ones are the ones that are my favorite. Nightwave, if you can move that box all the way to the bottom right-hand side, that'd be awesome. Thanks, man. So my top 5, we'll go with number 5 is going to be Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1, number 5. Number 4 is going to be the first Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
It's classic.
Number 3 is going to be Civil War.
Yep.
Nope. Cancel it. Sorry. Number 3 is not Civil War. I'm thinking of that one battle, but that's not what I want to do. Number 3 is going to be Winter Soldier.
I love Winter Soldier.
It's a good one.
Winter Soldier, here's the deal with that one. That's not so much just a superhero movie. That's just like a classic movie all around. That's like a spy movie. It's like a terrorist movie. It's awesome.
It's a it's a brother reuniting with a brother movie.
That's right.
Yeah. And how awesome is
leaving it out?
Well, I'm going back. So let me say this. The movies that connect with my humor the most are the Guardian of the Galaxies movie, especially the first one, but it's not going to be, neither one are in my top 5 just because I had more of like a connection with the other movies, but I do love their honorable mention. Number 2 is probably going to be, this is tough. Probably going to be the original Captain America. I love that movie too.
That's a good one.
And looking back on it after all the movies that have come out already, it laid such the groundwork for everything that was going to come. It led up to the moment in my number 1 that's really important. So my number 1, and it's not just because it's the most recent, but my number 1 is the best culmination movie of all time, and that is Avengers: Endgame.
That's right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's what we all built up to for over a decade. It's honestly, it's what I built up to since like the late 80s when I got into this kind of stuff. I can just say, I'm not saying, if I'm being honest with you, I think the best movie just from a critical standpoint, would probably be Winter Soldier. But my favorite movie, the one that I just had the emotional connection with, the one that I love that can rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, is Endgame. Because there's that scene, there's specifically that middle, like, or that close to the end, 20 minutes, where it looks like Captain America and Thor and Iron Man are beat down, and then, or they are beat down, and then Captain America gets up and his shield is broken and he tightens it, and he's like, there's no way I'm going to win, but I'm not giving up. And he's facing the entire army of Thanos' darkness. And then all of a sudden he's like, Cap. And you see all of the portals opening up, and his friends come to aid him, and it's Avengers Assemble. In that moment, I'm sitting by Daisha, and I'm like actively trying not to cry from happiness unsuccessfully because I'm like, she is gonna leave me because I'm such a nerd. But I like start literally from happiness crying, like just like smiling and crying like I'm a 4-year-old because I loved it so much. Like I've never felt like that in a movie. I was at the midnight showing, and everybody was going nuts, and everybody was cheering when he said Avengers Assemble. And I was just like imagining all the superhero battles I did with my stupid toys throughout my whole childhood and life. And I just loved it. And then it gets to the end of that when, and it's been long enough, sorry for spoilers, but when Iron Man dies and Spider-Man comes and talks to him, and then his wife comes and talks to him, and she's like, you can rest now. I'm just like, you can do that. Like
You'll never get a rest again.
I felt all of the feelings. I'm not a guy who feels all the feels, but that movie made me feel all the feels, and it was so good and so well done, and such a book end to such a wonderful series. If anything, I would say I wish that the Hulk was changed in that. I did not like Professor Hulk. I wish he was good old-fashioned, maybe even World Breaker Hulk, or just any other of Hulk's 17 personalities. But besides that, that's nitpicking. You know, I do wish Spider-Man was a little more of the mature Spider-Man, because in my estimation, he has the most heart and the best outside of Captain America leadership ability in the Marvel universe, not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the Marvel universe. But that's just me being a guy that has Spider-Man toys. But yeah, I'm passionate about it.
I cried at a different spot.
Okay.
I was super emotional through the battle scenes, but I cried when they were back at Tony and Pepper's house and they had the funeral, and then they were giving the hologram to his daughter. That's when I cried.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was a rough part.
That was rough. But somehow the hologram knows to walk up to the kid and look at her. That kind of took me out of it. But so we also, I see somebody saying, shout out Fantastic Four, Thor Dark World, X-Men. This has to be a list of the worst, right?
This is just Zach Waller. Here, look, I'll call him out. This is just Zach Waller looking up movies that everyone has agreed is bad on Rotten Tomatoes and telling us that they're good. That's all.
Oh, that's awesome. I was like, man, you've got some interesting taste, Larry. I don't know what's going on.
Dark World is so bad.
I'm going through the comments right now because while I was ranting, I wasn't looking at them. So, David Lloyd said, Superman. David, Twombly, I know you know what you said, but no.
Twombly, can you give me an update on yours? Because I was typing something while you were doing yours. So can you remind me of what your top 5 were?
My top 5, I'm rethinking it a little bit because I could make Endgame and Infinity War one movie because it's kind of.
That is a good argument.
Right now, as I have it, as my 5 best, or as my 5, it's Captain America: Civil War, Thor: Ragnarok, Marvel's The Avengers, Endgame.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good list.
I'm glad you clarified it with Marvel's The Avengers. I was wondering if you were talking about the other one.
Oh, yes.
All right. So what we're going to do now is go to our cartoon battle. Thank you, Lane. That was excellent. That was a fun discussion.
You're welcome.
And thank you, comment section, for getting in on it. I see a lot of strong opinions. One strong opinion that's really interesting to me is I don't like Thor. First of all, Thor is an incredible character and has the fish out of the water in the first Thor movie, like that element really of like, good. I don't know, I like throw the glass on the ground and shatter it and stuff. That's hilarious. But then as he goes on and it becomes more of like a comedic Thor, I think Chris Hemsworth is great at that. But there's a lot of people that complain that I don't know how they made it Fat Thor. Oh, I don't like Fat Thor. Let me tell you something. Outside of Peter B. Parker and Into the Spider-Verse, Fat Thor might be the best movie character of all time.
Wow, that's bold. That's good.
Ooh, that's a great cartoon fight. Daddy Pig versus
Dad Thor versus Dad Spider-Man.
No, versus
Yes.
versus Porky Parker.
Porker Pig.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Peter Porker.
Peter Porker versus Daddy Pig. That's a good one.
Wow.
All right, so let's do it. All right, so I've seen lots. Probably my favorite matchup that I've seen in the comments so far was there was one with Ichigo. Who do they have Ichigo go against? The Backyard Guardians or whatever?
Backyardigans? The Backyard Guardians?
I don't know.
It's the kid.
The Backyardians.
The
Backyardians was after my time, but Ichigo was right in the middle of my time, so I love him.
You need to look up the remix version of the Backyardigans theme song. It is, I believe, as the kids say, a bop.
There's a remix?
Shaggy versus Johnny Bravo. That's pretty good. So Shaggy from Scooby-Doo versus Johnny Bravo. Now, I don't know if some of you remember, because I know that Cartoon on Cartoon Network kind of ended a long time ago, I think. But there was a show called Johnny Bravo. And there's this dude that was basically like Elvis with blonde hair. And he had this big blonde hair, sunglasses, and a really tight white shirt, kind of like a huge upper body. And he was just an idiot. And he would just walk around doing stupid things. But it was Johnny Bravo. Like it was literally Elvis. But then we have Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Equally not smart, but a detective nonetheless. And he was Dog's best friend. I mean, he eats Scooby snacks with Scooby-Doo. So that's something. So, guys, what do y'all think?
George versus Elmo is pretty solid.
Johnny Bravo versus Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Take it away, Lane.
Okay, so here we go. Johnny Bravo, he has the muscle and the brute strength.
Uh-huh.
But I think Shaggy has the brain. So this is a classic brains versus bronze fight.
Well, Shaggy doesn't have muscle, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I think Shaggy would just get lucky, because we see him get lucky all the time in Scooby-Doo, and just like he stumbles upon things that he's not looking for, and he would find some kind of awesome weapon and like do something cool like that. But I give it to Shaggy.
That's what we need to know.
I'd give Shaggy a 12-inch sub, and I give Johnny Bravo his hair comb.
A 12-inch what?
Sub, a sandwich.
Oh,
I thought you meant
a sandwich versus.
I was like, that's gonna kill somebody. First hit.
Maybe a box of Scooby snacks.
I think in that situation they would just stop fighting. Shaggy would eat his sandwich, and Johnny would just comb his hair. No fight.
Yeah,
I agree. I think that it's a neutral. That's what ends up happening.
They'd be friends
in that scenario.
Fair enough. Now,
what if? Hold on, wait. Let's do it now. What if Johnny Bravo sandwich, and Shaggy has his comb?
Okay, then they would really fight each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where are
trying
they?
to get what the other has.
Yeah, what's the location?
Because if they're like in a graveyard where an old man is dressed up as a ghost, then Shaggy has the clear advantage. But if they're like on some Hollywood set, then you got to go with Johnny Bravo. It just matters where they are. Hey, I really want to get to this before our interview, and we're running out of time. So let's talk about Fat Thor versus Fat Spider-Man. Because let me tell you, first of all, I'm sorry that we couldn't put Into the Spider-Verse in our rankings, because I'll just be completely honest with you right now. As much as I raved about Endgame, my soul would be torn trying to decide between Endgame and Into the Spider-Verse if Into the Spider-Verse was an MCU movie. And I think I might go with Into the Spider-Verse. Everything from the soundtrack to the way it looks to the story to the heart. I mean, that movie is straight cash. Like, I don't know how you do that.
I think technically it is an MCU movie.
It could be in the next one, because I think the next one's going to be like bringing in some of those is what the rumors are. And if that's the case, and we retroactively get to bring that into the MCU rankings, then that changes everything.
My top 5 is
that's a game changer.
Yeah. I have to change my top 5.
And like we know, like Morbius is coming out, and that's going to be like a crossover thing.
Yeah.
And like
I passed up on my toy in Walgreens too. I should have got it. Man, that's rookie mistake. I feel like a real idiot right now, let me tell you.
Disappointment.
Who knows how much that's going to go for on eBay now that we live in the coronavirusville? I don't know.
Yeah,
how
really.
This is a genuine coronavirus toy.
I'm not even joking right now. I'm kind of upset about that. But anyway, Fat Thor obviously still has the Mjolnir. He still has, after he goes through the stuff in Endgame, he still has the ability to call thunder and lightning and do all that stuff, and he's still worthy. So he has all this power. I do think he's a little depowered, though, because I think if he was at full power, he would have put up more of a fight against Thanos instead of needing to team up with the other two, because Thor is just kind of OP'd. I kind of think that's what the movie creators did on purpose, because Thor at full power, like right now in the comics, he's King Thor. He takes the Odinson's power because Odin's not there anymore. Like, he has legit power. But Fat Thor versus Fat Spider-Man, Peter B. Parker, Jake Johnson Spider-Man, still has all the leadership ability in the world. He's able to impart wisdom to a young Spider-Man while figuring out how to be wise himself. Isn't that what all mid-30s to mid-40s people in the chat, that's just me, thinks? So, or actually David Lloyd's in here too. So shout out to the other old in here besides me. Hope you're not offended by that, or I'm fired. So it's going to be a really good battle, because Peter Parker, he figures out a way. In my mind, he kind of has that ability that Batman has, even though Batman doesn't have superpowers, to figure out a way to win when he's the underdog. Because Peter Parker has lived a life of being the underdog. And specifically Peter B. Parker, I mean, he split up with his wife even. He's kind of getting to that point where, like, yeah, great power comes with great responsibility, but I don't want to handle that anymore, and figuring out how to break through the other side of that. So he's even more fortified, but he has the wisdom of the years of battles that he's had. But Fat Thor just is powerful, and he's figuring out stuff too. I don't know. It depends where the battle is. What do y'all think?
Thor's apartment in Endgame.
Oh yes, in that Swedish town.
Yeah, that's the setting.
Okay.
My question is, are they able to inspire the motivation in their hearts to fight each other? That's where I'm at. I'm struggling, because there's a chance, like, Peter walks in and, like, he just sees Thor sees him, and then they just, like, hang out and play more video games. I'm at odds.
Are you ready for the twist, Tyler?
Yeah.
Peter B. Parker is the video game kid that was messing with Thor and his friends that Thor got so mad at and screamed at.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then he comes over, and then they get in a real fight. Yeah. That's what happens.
So that could be it.
Instead of Mjolnir, Thor is wielding his controller like a nunchuck?
He should be.
Yeah,
he really should be. Who's the rock thing, Lane? What's he called?
Korg.
Yeah.
Korg. I love Korg so much. Like,
I have a Funko Pop of Korg.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
We're running out of food here.
It's so good.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Hey,
all right. So first of all, if you notice the face I just made, it's because the coffee grounds were at the bottom of my cup, and that's not pleasant.
Right.
Second of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited for this segment. First time we've ever done this. We've got our first call in to the extravagantly reoccurring Power Half Hour Smells Like Thursday edition. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Nightwave.
Hello.
Hey, Nightwave, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good.
Nightwave, give us your first name and where you're from.
My name is Joshua, and I'm from Saskatchewan, Germany.
Saskatchewan, Germany, classic place. You in quarantine over there?
I was hoping you would double down and say my name is Knight.
Actually, no, we're not in quarantine. We're it's like the underground city, one of those ones. Like, I mean, it's either that or in BioShock, depending on like which you would rather have in your head.
Sure.
BioShock.
I'm visualizing the Dwarves Kingdom in Lord of the Rings right now, but I'm impressed that your cell service gets out from there. So just so you know, everybody, young Joshua here is actually our new host of the stream today, and he's really helped us out get over these technical glitches that we've been having. So I want to give a legit shout out to him for helping us in things that we couldn't figure out. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 seconds of claps for Josh. 1, 2. That's what you deserve, Josh. You earned that. You
Woo!
hold on to
Don't
that
let it go to your head.
when times get hard, when things don't go your way, when you have to stay inside for another month because of the coronavirus. I want you to think, I got 2 seconds of claps. That's right.
Wow, I don't
I
know
got
how.
2
I feel
seconds.
like I've peaked. I just.
You really have. It's all down here. We flattened the curve for you right there, Josh. It's all down here.
Yeah, I hate to tell you what life's got in store for you now, kid.
Wow.
Hey, but you did it. You did it.
Okay.
All right. So, Josh,
Look at that.
now I heard a rumor that you have some strong feelings about sandwiches. Could you explain?
Yes.
I do. So earlier this week, I was asked if a hot dog is a sandwich, and my response to this was no, of course not, because as we know, the definition of a sandwich is a piece of food, most specifically like meat or cheese, between two pieces of bread.
Yeah.
And as we know, a hot dog bun is not two pieces of bread; it's one piece of bread. So
I agree with you.
obviously,
But
a hot dog
everybody
is not a sandwich.
So
I'm struggling.
Your hot take is a hot dog is not a sandwich. I am on team hot dog is not a sandwich as well. A hot dog is a hot dog. It's its own species. It is not in the sandwich phylum or whatever you call those things. But Lane, what are your thoughts on this interesting topic?
See, I respectfully disagree with all of you. I think anything with something in the middle with bread is a sandwich. Even tacos, even ramen between bread or in a taco shell.
But a taco isn't in bread. A taco isn't in bread. It's in tortilla or a taco shell.
Between bread?
Taco is not between bread.
It was discussed. I've heard mention of ramen on bread.
Why would you eat ramen?
No. Okay. To be fair, his definition of ramen between bread that does meet the baseline definition of a sandwich. You can have a ramen sandwich,
baseline requirements.
but it's not an equal comparison to a hot dog, because a hot dog is in and of itself, it's a tube of meat inside of a hot dog bun, which is connected. It is one piece of bread folded.
There's nothing more appetizing than a tube of meat, let me tell you.
Wow.
Hey, let us know in the comments, is a hot dog a sandwich? It sounds like I'm voting for it is not, and Josh is as well. Lane's voting it is. Tyler, what's your vote?
Look, I've got a philosophical issue here with his definition of a sandwich, which is a piece of food between two slices of bread.
Hit me.
What is your definition?
A definition would be deli meat, cheese in between two slices of bread.
Wrong.
That definition is so narrow. That doesn't include like a meatball sub.
Hey guys,
that's not deli.
Can we just have a moment
sub
of silence? Tyler. We're gonna have a moment of silence for your terrible hot take, because nobody is going to agree with that because it is wrong. So thank you for joining the podcast.
I gave the coldest take possible for what a sandwich is.
Your definition was too narrow.
Cold.
Let us know in the comments if you agree with Tyler Twombly that the only thing that can be a sandwich is deli meat. You can't even say it because it's so stupid. What are you talking about? Tyler, you know that I think you're a smart guy. Like, we hired you, right?
It's
but that
not true.
Is not good. It's not good.
I'm just saying that you can't put ramen between two.
You're about to be a divided.
No. He can't, because that makes it a ramen sandwich.
They're not of equal value. It's just, you can call it a sandwich, but it's a joke. It's a joke.
Not with that
it's
attitude.
Laughable. A hot dog is
One more question. One more question for Nighthawk Wing Wave, whatever your name is. Cereal, soup, or not?
Well, what's your definition? I might as well. Okay. I mean, since we're very interested in this, what is your definition of soup?
Yes,
I'm not asking myself the question, Josh. I want to hear what
you're the one who's providing the definitions here, sir.
All right. I think that a good definition of soup would be
Stop filibustering and just answer the question.
Okay. I do not believe that cereal is a soup, because soup is it uses meat broth as well as other vegetables and meats in order to like heated in a pot. That is soup.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree that a soup needs a broth.
No, chili is not a soup. Chili is chili.
Okay.
Chili. If you were going to say anything, I would say that chili is a lot closer to stew than it is to soup.
So is chili is soup a large umbrella category? Is soup a subcategory of something else.
I wouldn't say that soup is a large umbrella category, but I would say that it is a category.
Okay, so like, what does soup fall under? Like, food that can go in a bowl.
I mean, I think that bowlable is a good category.
Bowl food.
Bowlable.
Hey, we're gonna leave it up.
It is able to be bowled.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nightwavehawk Wing, whatever your name is, you are awesome. Thank you so much for hosting us today. Thank you so much for all the help and for answering those age-old questions about sandwiches and soups. Hopefully we'll hear from you again. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nighthawk Wing.
I appreciate your trash opinion on sandwiches.
Says the man who thinks that sandwich is only telling me.
We're now going to move on to our final segment, and it's where we get a little bit more serious. The reason that we're doing this in the first place is for people to have a little hope and to get through a little bit of the days that might be a little more stressful than usual, but to remember that Jesus still is holding everything together. So today, Tyler Twombly is going to be delivering a message from the Word of God for the next couple of minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to Tyler.
Hey, how's it going? That's me with my, I would say, average to subpar view of sandwiches, ready to talk about the Word. So if you've got your Bibles, please turn to Hebrews 4, verses 14 through 16. The reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because I think, especially during times like this, we have a tendency to go through our life where we are deeply confused with God's plans and why he does what he does. So I think our own misunderstanding of what God wants to do is behind our questioning like that. And then secondly, we think that we know better. Also, I think that's just a deep pride. And then thirdly, we say this because we kind of think that God is separate from, or distant from our experience. So that's he can't understand what I'm going through. And I think we tend to do this in our life. Like if we have a hard thing going on, we don't think anyone really knows or has experienced anything like we have. But this passage talks about not only God, his plans, but also the fact that he can actually relate with us. And so here it is, verse 14. Since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. So, like it says in verse 14, we have Jesus, the Son of God, who came down from heaven to live a life that we are not capable of living. That's perfect obedience to God and faithfulness to him. He died the death that was reserved for me, Tyler. I was supposed to die that death, but it was Jesus who did it, and he raised from the dead by the power of God, a power that I was separate from before my relationship with God. This should comfort us now more than ever with living in coronavirusville, which is what we have aptly renamed Earth. So we think in our life, like, people are struggling, they're dying from this disease, or maybe we have other struggles that we're going through. And we ask God, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And how can I get through this? And I think we need to show deep faithfulness in God and deep trust in his plans, because he knows what we're going through. He's gone through it himself. He has experienced the loneliness maybe some of you are feeling. He experienced the deep anxiety in the Garden of Gethsemane. But in every respect, he was without sin. So I hope you find this as an encouragement today, that even though we're inside, we're deeply tempted by different struggles in our life, as well as unfaithfulness, that we can still draw near to God, because ultimately he's in control of things. He's got a plan for it all, to ultimately produce Christ-likeness in our own hearts, in our own walks.
Amen. That's awesome. Well, hopefully Hopefully you were encouraged by that out there today. We thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that we love you. We're praying for you. If you need anything, please hit us up. I know it's crazy out there. Don't forget, Sunday morning, 9:30 on White Spurs website, we have our live stream of the service. And there is also Zoom Monday afternoon for guys at 3 and girls at 6:30. Now, it is, if you want to be a part of that, regardless of your age, just let us know about it, okay? So Zoom, 3 o'clock for guys and 6:30 for girls. We'll send you the specific link if you want to be a part of it, so just let us know. We had a great discussion last week, and we're looking forward to this next week as well. And then we'll be right back here on YouTube, this channel right here, who I think we're going to be able to rename now because y'all are awesome and subscribe. But we'll be here for the Tuesday edition, and then we'll have our Bible talk and Thursday edition as well next week. So look, it's a brave new world out there, but we're still called to be lights in the dark. So go be lights and stay classy.